Noah Rothman joins us right now from National Review. Follow him on the X at Noah C. Rothman. I want to bring you to the primary, Trump v. Haley, talk about two very different views of the world regarding foreign policy. Trump getting the 11-point victory. Your take on whether there is still some rational path for Nikki Haley?
Oh, I don't think so. I think this primary wraps up pretty quickly, but this is not something that I think Republicans should be celebrating necessarily. I mean, Republicans who are interested in winning in November, New Hampshire looked a lot like the election in 2020 in microcosm. About 75% of Republicans turned out for Donald Trump. They made up 49% of the electorate, and they're thrilled to vote for Trump. He mobilized a very similar the antonym, the opposite reaction in his opponents, in the small number of Republicans who oppose him, who are dead set against not voting for him in November, by the way, if they mean what they're telling pollsters.
There is a lot of people discussing this crossover thing, right? That look at all the people in New Hampshire who they changed their registration and they voted for Nikki Haley and they're actually Democrats. I argue that if I'm a Trump supporter, I'm not looking at that at some level of excuse for having an 11-point victory where Haley overperforms. That's a conversation that the Haley people want to have to look how much better we would do in a general election. Your take?
I mean, that's it. I mean, I didn't see any Trump Republicans complaining about Donald Trump winning independence in 2016 in New Hampshire. Same makeup, same electorate, but they didn't have any problem when they were voting for him. And what do you think happens in November? What do you think a general election is? Do you think they're going to stop you at the polling booth and say, wait a minute, you're a Democrat. You can't vote here. Of course you can. It's called a winning coalition. Look, if Donald Trump wants to be the head of a fan club, he's got it. If he wants to be the head of a winning political coalition, you got to make compromises. You got to attract, not just repel. You have to cajole and make concessions. He seems utterly incapable of doing that.
Well, there's an argument to which I would say that it isn't even so much that you have to make concessions, not on the basics and other things. It's that you have to be more willing to be less in a fight that is unnecessary and more in a fight that benefits me, the voter, the person in New Hampshire, the person in Indiana, the person in Florida, and engage in those connections. But that's another conversation for another day. That's Noah Rothman right there of National Review. Can't thank you enough, Noah Rothman. There he goes.